Here is the before picture and here is the after picture. So if you're looking to see how I managed to get this end result, then please follow along, as I've done a step-by-step video to help you if you're also looking for a similar kind of look. So this is my client. She has always had a half-head highlights with bleach. So the underneath is her natural hair colour. So I'm just going to section the hair from the front section, and I'm going to work in diagonal panels. And we're going to, she kind of wanted a bit of a balayage. She did want to go all brown, but then she still wanted blonde bits as well. So you kind of have to break it up a little bit with some packets. Now, because she has got bleach on the ends already, I am just going to backcomb the root area and apply the highlights to the dark area only. As it is like a balayage I'm just doing thin slices. I don't really want to do weaves, because if I did a weave it will end up like more of a sun-kissed look at the end, and I don't really want sun-kiss. She wants to be able to see the blonde going through, so it's a bit more chunkier sections to what she's used to. But if I put too much blonde in, then it's just going to look like a wishy-washy blondie colour. So I want it to look dark with blonde bits going through it. Now, when I fold my packets, it's important that I'm folding not right up to the final crease, because I still want to put some of the dark colour inside the packet. So this is a thin section here. I'm backcombing at the roots, just so that when I put on the bleach, and this is bleach mixed with 6%. So I'm just backcombing and applying the product just to the root area and any darker areas that you might find. And I've turned my brush round vertically, and making sure that when I fold my foils, I fold every single bit of hair into that packet, because the chances are when you put on the all over brown, you might accidentally pick up some of the blonde that might be hanging out, which is quite easy to do. So I am just folding it up. Another way that you could do it, you could put conditioner on the ends. So you could put bleach on the roots, conditioner on the ends, and just fold it up so that it all sticks to the foil, if that's easier for you. So the tint just goes onto the darker areas. Not tint, bleach. So it's bleach with 6%, mixed 2 to 1. I've got to make sure that I fold up all these little wispy bits into the hair, and that they don't hang out. So I'm just going to do the right hand side, and obviously what I do to the right hand side I'm going to do to the left. I don't want to go right up to the parting, so I'm going to leave that down because she wants dark at the top. So I'm going to come around the other side and kind of copy exactly what I did before. So I'm going to section off the front section, clip that up out the way, and take in a diagonal section, a bit of backcombing, and then put in the packet in. So it's a slice. I don't weave that, but I do backcomb it, and then I put in my silver foil, fold it over the pintail comb, make sure the backcombing is pushed up, and just applying to the darker areas. Folding all the hair into the packet, but leave a little bit. Can you see that I've left a little bit of the brown hanging out, because I do want to paint some tint onto that inside the foil bit, just so it blends in a bit better. So just kind of visualize what the end result is going to be like. You don't want to go all the way up to the parting because that kind of defeats the object of having it dark on top. She doesn't want the roots anymore. So I will continue to do the section at the front, and then we'll talk about the back bit in a bit. So moving on to the back section now. Kind of place your foils where the hair is going to lie. So you might want to see a little bit. You might not want to see blonde at all. You might just want flashes going through the back, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to slice this. I'm going to weave this because the back section looks a lot different when it's blow dried to the front section. But it's the same type of technique. So I am weaving, putting in my foil and then applying the tint just to the roots or any dark areas, and then folding all the hair into the packet, leaving a little bit of brown hanging out the foil at the top. I think I only put 3 or 4 packets in the back here, not too many, because I want to keep the hair looking dark with flashes of blonde going through it. So carry on watching and you're going to see me mix up the next colour ready to apply. So all my foils are done now. I'm just going to mix up the next colour, which is 5BB. So it's a level 5 and it's got a beige tone to it. So there's not much warmth going on now. It is more of like, you could call it maybe more of a mushroom brown. So I'm going to mix that up with 6 volume. It is a gloss. It's by My Identity, Guy Tang. If you're not using that, maybe you could use something like a 5.3 if you want more of a warmer tone. Or just a level 5. You'll find that the glosses don't tend to go as dark as a level 5 permanent. They do have a little bit more lighter effect to it. So I'm mixing it up 2 to 1 and I'm going to apply it to the roots first. So now I've mixed up the colour, I'm just going to start applying it to the roots only. So I'm going to do the roots all over the head, making sure that I don't miss a single strand. just going to do the back section now, same again. Even though there's hardly any packets here, I'm still going to cover the whole back of the head with the 5BB. This client, even though she has got short hair, she's got an awful lot of hair. It's very, very abundant. I ended up using a whole tube, so that's 60 grams of colour, and mixed it 2-to-1 with 6 volume. So this is a bit easier now because there's no packets to kind of dodge as you paint in, so you're just doing the regrowth first like you would normally do a regrowth tint. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way until it is finished. So I'm just tightening up the actual gown, just because I could see a bit of a jumper, and the last thing I want is a dry cleaning bill. You could put on like a cape as well if you wanted to. So now I'm going to I've mixed up some more colour actually. It's the same colour that I've mixed up, and I'm just going to apply it to the mid-lengths and end. Like I said before, you could pre-pig this if you wanted. You could maybe add a bit of orange into this. I don't really want to add any red into this because it will end up being too warm, and the client doesn't want red shades in her hair. The comb that I've got here is kind of like a roller comb. It's quite good. It's got wide teeth, and then the red bit along the top rolls round. So as you're combing through the colour, it helps spread it. So I find that quite useful. You can get them online. They're not too expensive either. So I'm just going to apply the remaining colour to all the remaining hair. If I need to mix up more colour, then I will do so. What you don't want to do is scrimp on this because it could be a bit patchy. So you want to make sure that all the hair is covered completely. And then just leave it to develop for the development time. Because this is a gloss at the bottom, it normally takes about 25-30 minutes to do. But mainly we are waiting for the bleach to lift up, so that could take 50 minutes to do. So we can't wash it off until the bleach is 100% ready to come off. When removing the colour, I would rinse off all the brown first, making sure I emulsify around the hairline so it doesn't stain any areas. And then I will remove the foil packets afterwards. Looking at the colour, I will put on a toner. You can choose whatever colour toner that you want to put on. If you wanted to put on maybe a caramel, you could. For my client today, I did apply a toner of 9IG with a bit of titanium, which is a gloss colour as well. And I just left that on for about 5-10 minutes and then washed that off. So I hope you enjoy watching the remainder application here. And then we'll go on to the cut straight after. So all my colour now is completely done. I'm just finishing off the bowl of product. I've got loads of product left in now. I'll wash it off at the basin and wash the brown off first and then remove the packets after. Putting on a toner of 9IG and titanium mixed together. I left it on for about 5-10 minutes before washing it off and shampooing and conditioning after. So this is the end result. Sometimes you do get worried because you're like, oh, it's really dark, and when it's developing it's even darker. But then when you wash it off it's not too bad, and when you dry it gets even lighter. So we are sectioning now, ready for the 1 length haircut. And I'm just taking off 1 inch at the back just to freshen up those ends. Keeping the hair at 0 degrees and just checking the balance left and right. Going up another section. Make sure that you can see your guideline through. And just meet your guideline. If you can't see your guideline, then maybe you've taken too much hair. So make your section a bit thinner. What you don't want to do is really, really thin sections because you'll be there forever. And obviously, while my client was developing, you can see in the background, I was doing another client. I was doing a full head of foils in between her. So it just keeps you busy. Making sure that the head is tilted forward slightly to minimise any graduation. And I'm just meeting the guidelines. Once I've done the back section, just balance check. Make sure there's no little loose bits that I've missed. And then you're going to move on to the side sections. So I'm tilting my client's hair away from me and just trimming off those front sections there. There seems to be more coming off the back than what there is at the front. The hair always seems to grow more at the back than what it does at the front. And then just doing a little bit of forward graduation, a bit of feathering around the face to give it a bit of shape. And then I'll do the same on the left hand side as well, just to match it up. And just along the top section, I'm just going to make a little halo section, left and right, and just double check there's no little loose bits. I like to just trim off this top section here. And then I'll cross check it the other way. And that would be my haircut. Not much to the haircut today. Kept it kind of simple. We're going to go into the blow dry now. So the product that I'm going to be using today is just the Dream Coat, the Wow. So this is what it looks like. It gives it a little bit of, it don't give it any hold or anything. It just makes the straighter look, I suppose, look a bit straighter. I'm going to use quite a big round brush to blow dry it with, try and get as much root lift as I can, and I'll straighten it after as well. So I'm going to rough dry the hair until it's about 70% dry. Once it's rough dried, then I will section the hair ready to blow dry. So I'm just sectioning into two today. So using the big round brush, I'm going to now start blow drying the back bit, and you'll see how nice this colour is once the back bit is dried. You can actually see the depth of the darkness of the 5BB. It's not going to be that dark on top because we have got the blonde going through it, which is what the client wanted. But I think if the client wanted this all over, it would look lovely, really, really nice. And these products have got a great shine to it as well, so it makes it look nice and healthy. So I'm going to blow dry the back section, making sure that's completely dry before moving up the head. So we blow dry like we are building a brick wall. We start at the bottom and then we work our way up, giving root lift. So I always collect the hair on the hairbrush and then on the hairdryer, and getting the roots dry first before going down to the mid-lengths and ends. So here we can see how nice and rich that brown is. It's got a nice shine to it. Covers the hair nicely. There we go. It's nice, kind of a velvety brown as well. So we'll take the next section. So I just go up the hair about another inch higher, working from the left hand side and all the way round to the right hand side. And you can watch me as I blow dry. So this is the last bit of the blow drying, just making sure it's got enough volume in it. And you can see the flashes of blonde going through that. If the client obviously wanted their hair curled, you'd see the blonde going through that curl, which will look really nice. But at the moment, you've just got the straight look. The client seems to like it, which is the best thing. Now I'm just going to section the hair, ready to actually straighten it with the irons. I set the irons to about 200 degrees. I don't want to overheat the hair. I've blow dried it straight, so we're just kind of smoothing it down really now. So just using the irons, we're just going to gloss through or glide through the hair, straightening it without making it flat. And you can see the flashes of blonde going through the hair as well, which look lovely. And then it's darker on top so that you don't get that instant regrowth every 6 to 8 weeks. So the hair is straightened now. I'm just going to go back in and double check the haircut, make sure there's no little bits that I've missed, make sure there's no graduation at the back. Might need to texturize some areas if there is any thick areas, but this client's hair is very thick, like I said before, so I'm just going to be thinning out the ends. The left hand side seems a lot thicker than the right hand side, which is pretty normal because nothing is symmetrical on our body, so why should our hair growth be the same? So it is always going to be thicker one side compared to the other. I'm just taking off little bits that might be needed. If there's nothing needed, then don't cut it. So this front section here, I'm just looking at it thinking it's a little bit heavy, so I'm just going to point cut in there and see how it lays. And take a section from behind that, point cut that as well. And see how that lays. And a section from behind that. It is a lot thicker that side. So when I'm point cutting, I'm going quite deep into the hair, not just the tips, right the way down. So it just makes the hair that little bit more feathered at the face. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Just checking the balance. And then just as a finishing cream, I'm just going to put in the Olaplex number 6 with a little bit of oil, number 7 I think it is. Mix them together. It's only tiny bit amount because obviously I don't want her hair to be greasy, but it just softens it and makes it a bit smoother. And then the client will be happy with her hair, hopefully. And I'll show you the end result. So here we go, here's the end result, if you didn't see it at the beginning. So we've got flashes of blonde going through as well, and a nice straight haircut as well.